I was rather hoping that we might go through our first season in the Premier League relatively unhindered by injuries. But we do now have problems at left back, and we have major problems in midfield as we move into what can only be described as injury time. And so this really good start to the season that we've had is now under serious threat. Let's go and kick some balls. Hello and welcome back to The Road to Glory, Part 80, Season 9, here at Preston. And whilst it has been an extremely good start to the season, and you can see that we are currently in 9th, we have 16 points from our opening 11 games, with a game in hand on Arsenal, it has also not come without its problems. And today we will be playing at home to Brentford, and we will follow that with an away game at Bournemouth. And these are two games that we should be winning. Brentford in 19th and Bournemouth in 17th. And with tougher fixtures to come after this, I think it's essential that we pick up as many points as we can from these two games today. But before we get into today's episode, if you are brand new to the channel and you like FM content and you just like to see people suffer playing this game, then you're in the right place. So why not subscribe, like, watch and comment, help the channel to grow and help us to support all that very good stuff that you can see scrolling up above. And while we are on that subject, many thanks to Rui Carvalho, who is the latest to contribute to the Just Giving page. And thanks to Rui's amazing contribution, we have now taken the total over £300 since we began this page a couple of months ago. And I will leave a link in the description below to that Just Giving page. And if you are of a mind to make a donation to support the cause, and it doesn't matter how small, it could be just £1 or £2, everything will mount up, and then together we will make a difference. Many thanks to Rui for his wonderful contribution and taking us over the £300 mark. But first, let's have a look at what has happened on the pitch since you were last with us. And when you were with us last, you saw us have that 1-1 draw away at Wolves, and then that very dull 0-0 draw at home to Norwich. And these are always red flags. And I did a video last year for FM23 where I looked at complacency, and I wondered, given our good start to the season, were the team starting to become a little bit complacent? And these two draws finishing with a 0-0 is a big red flag for me that the team were becoming quite complacent. And so with two really important games coming up that we needed to get results in, I had to think very quickly about how I was going to deal with this complacency. And so to deal with the complacency, what I actually did was, before the Swansea game, I picked the team for Brighton and then took those players out and replaced them with other players for the game against Swansea. And I based the team for Brighton on how good my team were in terms of the determination attribute. And I also looked at training performance over that week to see which players who were on the fringes of the squad who were trying to impress me and wanted to play. So we picked the team for Brighton with the aim of not losing, and I put in the most determined players that I could for that game and played pretty much the remainder of the squad, the less determined players, in the Swansea match. And it paid off, because the idea when you are looking like you might go into a spiral of defeats is to make sure that you do not lose the game in the league that is coming up. And so whilst it didn't matter really about the Swansea game, I could not afford to lose the game against Brighton. And it paid off, and we got a very creditable 1-1 draw away at Brighton. And we then followed that with a 2-1 home victory against West Ham. And so I think we had stopped the rot, because we could have gone into a very bad phase at this point. And then we unfortunately went away to Everton and lost by 1-0. And this was really strange, because when we went to Everton, both the board and the supporters were expecting a defeat. And then when we actually got defeated, if we go to the club vision, the board were actually very concerned about the 1-0 Premier League defeat against Everton, and also the supporters were very disappointed about the 1-0 Premier League defeat against Everton. And I couldn't work that out because they were expecting a defeat, and whilst we did quite well, we only lost by 1-0. I thought the supporters should be fairly pleased that we battled hard, and although we didn't win, we met with their expectations anyway, which were a defeat. I don't understand that, and maybe that's an area of the game that doesn't quite click yet, and it is new to FM this year, and maybe things just don't match up as they should at this time. And then we followed that with an away trip to Fulham, where we got another 1-1 draw. We've had a lot of draws lately, but it does tie in with the injury problems that we've had. And then finally, we lost in the Carabao Cup 4th round away at Liverpool, and I thought we did very well, only losing by 2-0. Liverpool, who are a very strong team in this current 2030 season, and I thought it was a very creditable performance. But we now need to pick ourselves up against Brentford and Bournemouth, and I really would like to see 2 victories here to maintain our position in the Premier League, possibly pull away from some of the other teams below us, and hopefully strengthen our position in terms of survival this season, because that's really what this season is all about. It's just about survival. We've had a good start, we need to build on that, and we just need to finish 14th, 15th in the Premier League at the end of the season, and we will have done very, very well indeed. And so in terms of the Premier League, you can see we are currently in 9th position, and we are a long way clear of the relegation zone, which is very, very good news. But it is important that we maintain this and that we can keep going, and we have 2 fixtures that we should be winning. But we do have injury problems, and if we have a look at what's been happening, you can see injuries are not as bad as they were last year. But the difference that we are finding this year, that the current injuries are much more serious than we were suffering last year. And we have 5 players currently out. We have centre-back Giorgio Altar, who is out for just 1 to 6 days, but it does mean that he is going to miss the Brentford game. Aksoy, our reserve backup goalkeeper, he is currently out, but he's only out for a day. We'll just go into the Brentford game with him injured on the bench. And then Joe Bellingham, one of our most important midfielders. He has already been out for about a month, and he's expected to be out for another 6 weeks or so. And so he is a big loss, although he hasn't played all that well at the beginning of the season and has had some problems settling into the squad. So maybe he's not such a big loss after all. And then the biggest problem of all, Hugo Bueno, the fullback that I got in at the beginning of the season in the summer transfer window to solve the problems at left back. He's going to be now out for the entire season. And actually, I might as well sell him at the end of the season because he's damaged his cruciate ligaments. He's not going to recover from that. He's not going to be the player that he was, and he is going to be susceptible to injuries in the future. So I guess his career at Preston is now over. And I think I'll probably need to go into the transfer market in the winter and find a left back. I do have some money available. I have still 12 million available to spend and a little bit of wage budget, and hopefully we'll be able to find a replacement left back for Hugo Bueno, and then we'll move Bueno on in the summer. And then Samuel Di Benedetto, another midfielder. He's broken his ankle and he is going to be out for around about 2 to 6 weeks more, probably a little bit more. He's probably looking at another 2.5 months. These two, Bellingham and Benedetto, they will be back around about the middle of January, end of January. So maybe we don't have to rush into doing things in the transfer market for them. It's just a big loss and it leaves us short in midfield. And rotation is not going to be possible as we go through the next couple of months, and there's going to be some very, very tired midfielders out there. Another injury will probably mean we'll have to look at changing the system. But it is what it is, and we have to get on with the problems, and we have to try and solve the problems. And with that in mind, we have been in the data hub and we have had a look at some of the issues are, and we've switched the formation around a little bit. We've changed some of the player roles in order to try and solve some problems that we might be having, and we've also changed the instructions a little bit to try and help with that problem. One of the issues that we had is that we are not creative enough. We're not creating enough chances. While we are fairly accurate in terms of our shooting, we're not shooting enough. And so we've changed the roles in midfield a little bit, and we are going to play a DLP at the base of the midfield, and we'll have the left-hand midfielder as a box-to-box, and the guy in the centre, he will play as a centre mid on attack. I'm hoping he will find his way up here a lot more often. We're also then keeping the Mazzala, but he's now gone on to a support duty. We're going to play wing-backs rather than full-backs. Now, I want them to start higher up the pitch and to start getting up the pitch a little bit more, get more bodies up here, start creating more chances, because if we are accurate in finishing, the more chances we create, the better off we will be in terms of results. And then this right-hand wing-back, he will be on a support duty, and we will attack pretty much down the left, hopefully. And a couple of the instructions have changed. We are very efficient in terms of cross completion, and so I've decided to go to hit early crosses, and we're also going to be passing the ball into space, and we've raised the tempo a little bit. In transition, we have decided to counter-press now. We need to be putting pressure on teams because we are not winning the ball back as often as we should be, according to the data hub, and therefore we need to start putting pressure on teams further up the pitch to try and win the ball back. And then, out of possession, we've decided at the moment that we will go with a higher defensive line and a high press. We are at the moment doing very well winning the ball back just outside our penalty area. We need to win the ball back further up the pitch, and if we can do that, then the chances are we will create more chances for our forwards, who are quite efficient. And so it's a risk that we have to take, but if we want to win football matches, and we're not winning football matches at the moment, we're drawing football matches, but if we want to win, we've got to take more risks, and hopefully over the next couple of games those risks are going to pay off. And so we've made a couple of tweaks to what's going on. We have an injury crisis. We have a couple of important games to play. Let's go and kick some balls. And so the team against Brentford at home is Cox in goal, with Newman, Barmer, Stoiker and Nizet at the back. Estrella, McCann, Applewaite and Simpson in midfield, with Ferguson and Grant up front. I'm not relying on Ida at the moment. He's not fully fit, and so we have to play Grant up front. But Grant has been in pretty good form of late, and so hopefully he'll have a good game for us today. And it's nice to see Ferguson back after his injury, and Surridge will start the game on the bench. And I think, yeah, we're right. We do need to show everybody what we are about. I have a lot of faith in this team. They've done very, very well. I have faith in you to go out there. We are playing a new system, and I wonder how this team is going to take to this new system, but we definitely do need to be taking more risks. We need to be winning the ball much higher up the pitch and putting pressure on teams. But it is Brentford who have the first highlight. It is a free kick, and could we be going behind here? I never like these central free kicks. And there's the shot. It's come off the crossbar, and is it clears it? And is that a good sign? Is it going to be our day today? And we currently are in ninth. It would be nice to win today and go level on points with Arsenal. We have a free kick. It's come back out to Estrella, who's having a little bit of an extended run in the team due to the injuries we have in midfield. Here is McCann. Need a good game from McCann. He is a team leader. I need him to lead this team to victory today. Estrella looking for McCann. McCann has found, who is that? It's Applewaite, has put us ahead. It's Preston 1, Brentford 0. We created chances and we've taken them. We are very efficient at taking our chances, and all we need to do is create more. And I wonder if being a little bit more positive, a little bit further up the pitch, and Applethwaite bursting through as a centre mid attack should be doing. He has put us 1-0 up, and that brings us level on points with Arsenal, and we are on 19 points at this stage of the season, which I never expected, and that's halfway to almost to the total that we needed. And at the moment it's still Preston 1, Brentford 0, and we do have a throw, and it finds Simpson. Simpson looks to cross. He can't. Is that a penalty, referee? I think the referee has given a penalty, and we could go 2-0 up here and really get into Brentford. The penalty is being checked. Ferguson is looking a bit worse for wear, but the penalty is awarded, and I think it should be Estrella in the absence of Ida. No, it's Grant who's stepping up. Young Grant has made it 2-0. And, he's just passed it to the goalkeeper. I thought that had gone in. And we have missed a penalty. That's not exactly what I was wanting to do. I really thought that had gone in the corner, but he just passed it into the goalkeeper's arms, and we do start to build again. That's a terrible pass from Barmer. That was absolutely dreadful, and here come Brentford. They could score here, and we've been punished for that penalty miss. And Barmer, that was absolutely dreadful. I'm going to put him as a no-nonsense centre-back. We cannot afford for our central defenders to be doing that. Brentford, not in the game. And we've just gifted them a goal again. And I'm really, really angry now that we've missed a penalty. And Cox, what was Cox doing? He should have saved that. And I'm thinking that Cox may well be on the way out of this team. He's not playing very well either. And Ascoy has been playing quite well when he's been called upon. But we do have a free kick again, and we need to stay positive, and it is Estrella over the ball. And we must please get more than a draw in this game. Estrella's free kick just goes over the crossbar, and it remains Preston 1, Brentford 1. We've gone back to 2 points behind Arsenal. That's a bit disappointing. And I'm going to be very angry with this team, where that we're throwing it away. We cannot afford to throw games away. And I'm really, really not happy with them. And Grant is actually on a 5.9. He's going to have to come off at half-time. This is absolutely awful. And this isn't good enough. That's what I'm going to tell them. And we need to remove Grant from the pitch. And we're going to bring Surridge on. We will put Ferguson up top. He will play as a complete forward on attack. And Surridge will play as the pressing forward behind him. I'm absolutely disgusted with that performance. And we need to be doing a lot better. They were lucky I didn't throw the water bottle then. Just totally dominated the game and thrown it away. And this is something we should not be doing. And it is Brentford again with the free kick. And it is headed clear. And McCann is chasing after it. McCann look to bring it forward. He finds Simpson. Simpson, who's having a decent game at least. Simpson bursting into space. And he is down the right. Can he get across into the box? Yes, he can. We do have a chance, and it's headed just wide of the post by Surridge. What a chance that was. And it's still Preston 1, Brentford 0. We're not going to be doing very well if we cannot win these games. And we have some very tough fixtures coming up, and we needed the 6 points from today. And I think it's time to make some changes again. And I'm really not a very happy manager at this point in time. And we have made some changes, and we have brought Adam Ida on for Ferguson. Ferguson was looking very, very tired, and it's just been a dreadful, dreadful game, and I'm not too happy. Garstang has pretty much bossed the game for Brentford, but look at what we've done. 15 opportunities. I'm going to go attacking now. I think we deserve to win this game, and we should be winning it. We've been let down by the forwards, who've been very efficient. But there's a ball into the box. It's not a very good ball, and we have got the ball. And there's a shot by Applethwaite, and it hits the crossbar. It remains Preston 1, Brentford 1. This is not a good performance. I'm not happy. We need to do a lot better than this. And I might go attacking because we deserve to win this. And we need to be putting more pressure on them and trying to score the goal that will give us the victory. And if it means that we lose the game, then so be it. But we have to do better. We're creating so many chances that the only thing I can think of is to go attacking now. Barmer, he finds Simpson. Simpson, he's going to look forward. And nice driving run by Simpson. It's not a very good ball, though, but well won in the air by Surridge. McCann, he finds Eder. Eder into Applethwaite, and Applethwaite has put it wide of the post. This is not acceptable. I'm going to demand more. And it's just unreal, this, that suddenly we can't find the target in a game that we should have won simply so easily. We can't find the target now, and this is like totally unreal. And at full time it is Preston 1, Brentford 1, and I am not happy, and I'm embarrassed by that performance. Simply not good enough. And if we don't win those games, we are not going to survive. We have to get some wins from somewhere. 1 point a game, every other game, is not going to be enough, and we have to get some points. And yeah, Preston manager slams the team, and Nizzet has said I was not very happy, and we have to do much better than that against Bournemouth. I'll go and get the team ready for the game against Bournemouth, and then we will see you just before kickoff. And so the team for today away at Bournemouth is Cox in goal, with Newman, Digbereku, Altair, Nizzet at the back, Stoica, McCann, Kelly and Simpson in midfield, with Ferguson and Eder up front. And I've gone back to the pairing that we had, the pressing forward on support and the advanced forward on attack that we had previously. I've also put these back to full-backs on attack and support, because I didn't think that particularly worked in the last game, and that's the last time I'm actually going to believe the data hub. And so we need to get on with this game against Bournemouth, and if we lose this game against Bournemouth, then I've got a funny feeling we're going to plummet into a very, very bad show before Christmas. And I want them to put on a show. I need strong defence, and I'm expecting them to take control of the midfield. I want this game to go well today, and we need a good performance. I've pretty much gone back to what we were doing before, in the hope that we can beat this Bournemouth team. But it is Bournemouth who are looking the more likely, but there's nobody in the box for them, and it's headed clear by Digbereku. And we need to just win the ball back. Can we win the ball back and just close them down in our half of the field and engage them in this area to win the ball back? But they are looking to play it wide, and Wan-Bissaka is looking inside. Hannibal is a very dangerous player. We need to be very wary of him, and that's why we've got him tight marked, I think, so that we're going to stop him having any influence in the game. But it's all Bournemouth, and they are a decent passing team. Chipped into the box, it's well defended. Stoica clears, and Eder picks up the ball, and Eder finds its way back to Nizzet. Nizzet is going to look inside. The highlight comes to an end. I want to check the opposition instructions. And here come Bournemouth. And Bournemouth are going to score. I forgot to put it on pause there. And Bournemouth, I thought, were going to score while I was changing the opposition instructions. But we do have a free kick. We've got to be doing a lot better than this. We haven't created a single chance. And McCann finds Digbereku. Digbareku, he finds Ferguson. Ferguson to McCann. Ida with a poor pass. I'm going to play a little bit narrower, I think. Very narrow now, because we're just not passing very well, and our passes need to find their targets. And I may even slow the passing game right down if they're not able to pass the ball. And this is really worrying, what's happening to this team. And we're just not doing anything. Nothing. We're not doing anything at all. And we're leaving players be, not engaging them. And this, I'm going to shout at them. This is terrible. This is absolutely terrible. We deserve to lose this game at the moment quite heavily. And Bournemouth do have another chance. It's hit the crossbar and Newman will clear. If it goes on like this, I might have to go to a cautious or defensive mentality, because at the moment this is absolutely terrible. I'm going to go just for now to a positive mentality. I really am stuck with what to do in terms of dealing with problems. Hugh Clark is a problem. We need to do something about Hugh Clark. And so I'll just ask the boys just to type mark Hugh Clark. We're losing Vignato because we're just not closing down enough. And I think maybe we need to look at the trigger press and go much more often. We need to be getting at them. And when they do get into our half, we got to stop standing off the Bournemouth and just absolutely go at them. Try to take the ball off them. We need more passion. And in the dressing room, I'm going to say we simply have to be better. And especially in front of goal. And it is still Bournemouth 0, Preston 0. We are creating a few more chances now, but we're not taking them. And we're actually dominating the game at the moment. The second half has gone in our favour, but we're not taking chances. And I'm really, really surprised that we're not, because why is the data hub saying we are efficient up front when we have 1 on target from 8 shots? It's really not good enough. Let's make some changes. And so we have made 3 changes. There were a number of players who were not playing very well. Newman is now looking very, very tired. So Dion Pugh can come on at right back. And Ali McCann is looking tired. But I don't have any more midfielders because I had to replace 2 who were not playing very well. And it's still Bournemouth 0, Preston 0. And although we have dominated the second half, and I'm going to go attacking now. I need to get a win here. And we've dominated the second half. We've had 8 shots, 10 shots now, and only 1 on target. And it's absolutely dreadful, absolutely dreadful. And it's Digbareku. He finds Stoico. We're well into injury time. Here's McCann. McCann is looking for Ferguson. Let's get it into the box. And Ferguson is looking. He comes back inside. There's a cross into the box. It goes straight into the hands of the goalkeeper. It's finished 0-0. It's another draw. And it's another poor performance. And against a team that were bottom of the league again. And we cannot win. I've always had this problem that I cannot win football matches against teams who are down the bottom of the league. And we're still in 9th, though Wolves have caught us up now. Aston Villa are beginning and Chelsea beginning to catch us up. And we need to do something about this or we are going to be in serious trouble. At the moment, we are looking like a relegation team and we are looking like the bookmakers' favourites to be relegated. And if we can't score goals, then we won't win football matches. It's as simple as that. And I need to find a way in which to score goals. And I will not believe the data hub. If we actually go and have a look at the data hub, analysis of our attacking and defensive performance, we have plenty of problems defensively. Oh, and we now suddenly have become fairly poor in attack. This is not good enough. And we need to somehow get out of this. It's looking very, very poor indeed. But we have Leicester, Liverpool, Arsenal, Manchester United, Newcastle all coming up, and I don't fancy my chances. We will be near the bottom the next time that you see us. And I would guess that when we come back, we'll be around about 15th or 16th in the table. And I don't know what to do. I've got a funny feeling I might have to look for another job or just be prepared to get relegated. But we will be back. It's very frustrating at the moment. That good start is gone, and it's murder playing this at the moment. The team's not responding. We're not scoring goals. We're pretty poor defensively. I thought I'd put a good squad together. That's it for this video. If you are brand new to the channel, and like I said, you love to see people suffer playing this game, we are suffering now. And please subscribe, like, watch and comment. Help the channel to grow and help us to support all that good stuff that you can see scrolling up above. And that's it for this video. All that remains to be said is I'll keep working. We'll see you in the next video.